On a seemingly ordinary day, a man decided to venture into the great outdoors for a camping trip. Our adventurer, brimming with anticipation, meticulously packed his gear: a tent, a sleeping bag, a lantern, and not forgetting, a can of beans for dinner under the stars. His heart pounded with excitement as he set off on his journey, the cityscape gradually giving way to the rustic charm of nature. The chirping of birds, the rustling of leaves, the whispering breeze. It was music to his ears, a symphony of serenity. Finally, he reached his destination, a secluded camping site, nestled amidst towering trees and a meandering stream. He set up his tent, a humble abode for the night, and settled down, basking in the tranquility of his surroundings. The sun began to set, painting the sky with hues of orange and pink. As the sun set, the man was blissfully unaware of the unexpected turn his journey was about to take. As the man slept, a rustling noise broke the silence of the night. Suddenly awakened, the man found himself straining his ears, trying to discern the source of the noise that had invaded his dreams. A sense of unease crept over him as the rustling continued, growing louder and more frantic. It was coming from the direction of his neatly arranged camping gear. With a growing sense of trepidation, he decided to investigate, hoping it was just a small critter and not something more ominous. Slipping out of his warm sleeping bag and into the chill of the night, he quietly unzipped his tent and peered out. His heart skipped a beat as his eyes fell on a large, shadowy creature rummaging through his food supplies. His mind raced to identify the intruder, and then it hit him: a bear. The sight of the large, powerful animal so close to his tent sent a jolt of adrenaline coursing through his veins. He was startled, to say the least. As the bear continued its rummaging, seemingly oblivious to his presence, the man retreated, stepping backwards into his tent with as much silence as he could muster. He zipped up the tent, creating a thin barrier between him and the bear. His heart pounded in his chest, echoing the fear coursing through his veins. What was he to do now? His mind raced, trying to remember any bear safety tips he might have picked up along the way. He knew he couldn't just sit there, trapped in his tent, while the bear helped itself to his food supplies. But confronting the bear wasn't an option either. He knew he had to think quickly, but his mind was a whirlwind of fear and confusion. The bear, for its part, seemed content to continue its late-night snack, undeterred by the man's presence. It pawed through the food supplies, its large form casting an ominous shadow in the moonlight. As the bear continued its search for food, the man was trapped in his tent, his heart pounding with fear. With his heart pounding in his chest, the man knew he had to think fast. The air was thick with tension. The only sounds were the rustling of leaves and the distant huffing of the bear. The man's mind raced as he tried to recall every piece of advice he'd ever heard about dealing with bears. He knew he had to create a diversion, something to distract the bear long enough for him to make his escape. His gaze landed on his backpack, filled with the food he'd brought for his camping trip. It was a risky move, but he didn't have many options. With a deep breath, he reached into his backpack and pulled out a bag of food. With one swift motion, he hurled the bag as far from the camp as he could. The bear's attention was immediately drawn to the bag, its nose twitching as it caught the scent of the food. For a moment, the man almost felt a sense of relief. The bear ambled over to the bag, sniffing and pawing at it curiously. This was his chance. The man took off, sprinting as fast as his legs could carry him. His heart pounded in his ears and his breath came out in ragged gasps, but he didn't dare slow down. He could still hear the bear behind him, its attention now fully back on him. But he was faster, and with every stride he put more and more distance between him and the bear. Finally, he made it to safety. He collapsed onto the ground, his chest heaving as he tried to catch his breath. His body was shaking from the adrenaline, but he was safe. He'd managed to escape the bear using his quick thinking and a little bit of luck. With adrenaline pumping through his veins, the man had managed to escape a potentially dangerous situation. This was an adventure he would never forget, a tale he would share around campfires for years to come, but for now he was just grateful to be alive, to have survived the great escape. Back in the safety of his home, the man had time to reflect on his unexpected adventure. As he sat in the familiar comfort of his living room, the experience with the bear replayed in his mind like a movie reel, each detail etched into his memory. The fear, the adrenaline, and the realization of his vulnerability against nature's raw power, it was all too real. The man understood that nature, in all its magnificence and unpredictability, doesn't always offer a smooth ride. It was a reality check, an eye-opener that the wilderness is not just a playground, but a world that demands respect and preparation. The experience made him realize that venturing into the wilderness is not just about packing a tent and food, but also about understanding the environment and the beings that inhabit it. With this newfound understanding, the man found himself spending countless hours researching about wildlife behavior and camping safety. Each article read, every video watched, and all the discussions with experienced outdoorsmen added to his knowledge and preparedness for his future adventures. He learned about bear behavior, safety measures, and the importance of respecting wildlife territories. He discovered that the more he knew, the better he could coexist with the wilderness. As he delved deeper into his research, he made a promise to himself, a promise to always be prepared, to respect the wildlife, and to never underestimate the unpredictability of nature. He understood that his safety and the preservation of nature worked hand in hand. And with this understanding came a greater sense of responsibility and a newfound excitement for his future adventures. His encounter with the bear was not just a thrilling tale to tell, but a life lesson learned. A lesson about respect, preparedness, and the understanding of our place in the vast expanse of the wilderness. The man's unexpected encounter with the bear had turned his ordinary camping trip into an unforgettable adventure, teaching him the importance of respect for wildlife and preparedness for the unexpected.